Of all the stories of people heartwarmingly offering help to homeless people, this one stands out in its own odd way, as you'd never expect a good Samaritan to be treated like that after a simple act of kindness. This young man thought he was only doing a simple act of kindness when he ordered a McDonald's for a starving homeless man he found in the streets. Not long after he got the food order, the staff at the Myrtle Beach, South California restaurant, the place where he ordered the burgers, called the cops and told both of them to leave the place immediately. Yossi Gallo captured the moment where the police officer told the homeless man to leave the place without even finishing his meal. All of this was apparently because several customers and employees complained about seeing a homeless man having a meal in the same place they worked. In the video clip, an angry Gallo can be seen berating the cop and the restaurant management for how they treated the man. He was outraged by the fact that the homeless man was poorly treated. Eventually, after a long quarrel, Gallo followed too and was asked to leave the restaurant for disorderly conduct. He ended up taking the man to another diner to finish up his meal and make up for how he was treated there. Gallo decided to post the video online and share the outrageous way the restaurant staff treated a harmless man. His video generated more than 40 million views on Facebook, with many reacting angrily to the law enforcement response. The Myrtle Beach Mayor Brenda Bethian and police, however, say that the incident as depicted in the film does not truthfully portray what happened. They further defended the officer's response. The owner of the McDonald's location said that Gallo has behaved improperly on prior occasions, and that this was not the first time he was asked to leave the place because of his conduct. In the video, the officer said the homeless man needed to leave because he was asking the McDonald's customers for money while he was there. However, Gallo said that the homeless man didn't ask him for anything, and he still couldn't understand why they couldn't finish their meals like every other customer. The incident started after Gallo said that he invited a man he believed to be homeless into a McDonald's diner. Gallo paid for a meal which the man then started eating at a table inside the restaurant. When Gallo was walking nearby, he saw the homeless man standing in ragged clothes and a cadaveric body. Gallo waved at him and asked if he was hungry, as can be expected. The man hadn't had a decent meal in days and was starving. Gallo went inside with him to get him a meal for the night. The moment they entered, the lady at the register told him that they weren't getting anything from there. After a long quarrel, Gallo decided to record the entire incident as evidence of their poor treatment. In the video, a police officer is seen telling a man that he needed to leave the restaurant after he was done eating. Minutes later, Gallo is heard in the video yelling at McDonald's employees, "You guys suck. He didn't even ask me for food. I brought him from outside." And he yelled again, "You guys suck." Moments later, a McDonald's employee, who's believed to be the branch manager, comes over to Gallo and nicely asks him to keep his voice down. Gallo exploded again. "What I'm asking this is how I talk. I talk loud. If the officer has a problem with that, the officer might as well arrest me. I'm not being disorderly." The officer then tells Gallo that she was called to the restaurant because multiple people have complained about the man asking for money, and multiple people have complained. She then comes over to Gallo and asks him to quiet down. Gallo replies, "I'll never be back here. You guys suck." The officer is seen having a conversation with the homeless man. It appeared that the police officer was actually waiting for him to finish his meal before escorting him out of the restaurant. She then asked Gallo to leave the restaurant even as he continued filming when Gallo asked the officer if he could get a refund for his food. "Can I get a refund for my food? If I can't finish my food, I cannot do that." Gallo, enraged, asked for the name of the manager that wanted him evicted from the restaurant. The manager then walked out and handed him an envelope. Gallo then started telling other customers in the restaurant that he was getting kicked out of there just because he gave a homeless guy food. Yet again, the police officer had to confront Gallo and asked him to leave the place immediately. Seeing that soft speech wasn't working, she changed her tone. "I'm not here to argue with you. I am the law. Do you understand that? You need to get your stuff and leave," she stormed. "If you want a refund, you got to go through corporate." Gallo then approached the cashier register and asked for a printed receipt. When he got his receipt, he was escorted out of the restaurant by the officer. Once out, Gallo invited the homeless man into his car. He offered to buy him food elsewhere. As the officer was watching him leave, Gallo yelled at her as he got into his car in the parking lot. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know that already deep inside." He kept yelling from his car. The Myrtle Beach police then told WMBF-TV that an officer was called to the premises after a McDonald's employee complained about a man who was asking them for money in the parking lot. When the officer arrived, she was told that the man had gone inside and sat down to eat. According to the police, the employee asked the officer to issue a trespass warning to the man and that he be asked to leave. The police officer advised the male of the request made by the business and issued a warning. The Myrtle Beach Police Captain Joey Crosby said that a bystander who was videotaping the incident was also trespassed from the location at the request of the manager for what management deemed his disorderly behavior. Joel Paulicci Jr., the owner of the McDonald's franchise where the incident took place, released a statement saying, "At my restaurant, the goal is to provide our customers with a positive and welcoming experience each time they visit. Unfortunately, the individual in this video has a history of disruptive behavior and has been asked to leave by management and police on several occasions." Right after Gallo posted the viral video. On Facebook, a large number of social media users left misogynistic comments about the officer. The users who watched the video were angry at her behavior and were particularly outraged because of her "I am the law" comment. According to multiple reports, the police officer's private Facebook page was inundated by trolls who left angry messages in her inbox and flooded the messages of her public posts. After those cyber attacks and cyberbullying she was subject to, the police officer reportedly either changed the privacy settings on her Facebook page or deleted it altogether, running away from the cruelty of internet users. Gallo later told WMBF-TV that he was against the cyberbullying the officer was victim to, and that he didn't agree with those who left crude comments on her page. In his words, Gallo said, "I think that's completely wrong. I do believe that she was doing her job and she's done nothing wrong. I don't have any anger towards her." After he was informed of what happened to the officer's page, Gallo shared another post where he asked Facebook users to refrain from trolling the officer and keep their mean comments to themselves. He continued, "I would say please definitely leave her alone. She was very polite. She was doing her job. I wouldn't want anyone to speak that you know badly of her. She was very nice." We don't know about you, but for us, Gallo is a serious piece of work. Despite his anger issues and misconduct problems, he remains good at heart and cares about what other people go through. Hence his insisting on paying a homeless man he didn't know a dinner, not once but twice in the same night. We hope more people turn a kind eye to homeless people living in the streets, feeding a day on two. They are as human as we are, only they had poor chances in life and were deprived of the basics of human life: a roof on their head and a meal on their table, things we all take for granted.